Welcome to Royal Empire, where the biggest royal stories unfold like never before. We hear the word bombshell, and in this case, it's absolutely fitting. If there's one thing Tom Bower understands better than anyone, it's timing. He doesn't throw accusations out there and hope they land. He waits, he watches, and then he strikes when the moment is perfect. They're setting up in California to spread wellness and love and sincerity, but according to this account, they've done the opposite. They've turned against their family, turned against Britain. And this time, Tom Bower didn't just hit a nerve. He changed everything for Prince Harry. Because when Bower hinted he had material that could unravel the entire Sussex narrative, Harry didn't respond with calm confidence. He responded with urgency. Legal messages flew out within hours. Intermediaries got involved. Warnings went to journalists, demanding silence, demanding it all stop. Tom had interviewed over 80 sources for his unofficial biography, but he stayed steady. Instead, he signaled he had something far stronger than rumors. Real evidence, documents, records, timelines, witnesses, things that stand on their own. And then came the hint that shifted everything. This wasn't about gossip. It was about questions tied to family lines, to the very foundation of certainty in the monarchy. Harry's reaction was intense. Advisors pushed back. Demands for action poured in. But if it was all unfounded, there was one straightforward way to end it all instantly. Clear verification. And yet, nothing like that happened. What do you think was really going on behind those closed doors? Hold on, because the next part gets even more intense. Tom Bower went further, pointing to secret records around the birth, unexplained travel details, and an early link between Meghan Markle and a businessman in Colombia that hadn't hit mainstream headlines before. The internet sprang into action. Flight records resurfaced. Charity trips got scrutinized. Dates got highlighted. Old screenshots came back. A pattern emerged that, whether accurate or not, seemed too coherent to ignore. And then a witness stepped forward, not anonymous, but someone the public already recognized. Trevor Engelson, Meghan's first husband, the one erased from the story like an old chapter. He'd stayed quiet for over a decade, until Tom Bower brought him forward. But even before Trevor spoke, the online world erupted. Late at night on the West Coast, when stories spread fastest, an anonymous account popped up. No photo, no history, just one post, one image, one line. Everyone thinks they know. They know nothing at all. The photo showed Meghan Markle in a luxury hotel hallway, close to a man who clearly wasn't Prince Harry. The setting was private, the moment unguarded, his arm around her in a way that felt too familiar. His build didn't match Harry's. His style was different. A leather bracelet with a distinctive pendant that sharp-eyed viewers linked to that same Colombian businessman from earlier footage. It wasn't royal elegance. It was confident, powerful. The account vanished fast, deleted professionally, but captures spread everywhere. People analyzed every detail, compared everything. And right then, Tom Bower posted calmly, "Some stories don't vanish when deleted. They wait for the full picture." Then the implication that stopped everyone. Questions about whether the firstborn belongs to who the world assumes. No direct names, just enough to spark endless debate. Hours later, the big announcement. A new podcast series, weekly drops, with documents and witnesses promised. Not drama, but straight exposure. I've spoken to hundreds, reviewed records from Hollywood to Colombia. What I uncovered shifts the entire perspective. Harry's side fired back with denials and threats, but that only fueled the fire. And still, no simple verification. Episode 1 launched late on a Friday. Tom's voice steady and measured, describing documents linked to the birth, irregularities in medical details, gaps in official reporting, sealed elements that broke from royal norms. No clear hospital statements, no named specialists, just managed announcements and controlled moments. Then he traced back. A private California gathering, elite guests, no devices allowed, a lone jet for a Colombia charity visit, and something left behind in a briefcase found later. A clearer version of that hallway image, impossible to dismiss. Was this coincidence or something planned? The twist here? Sources say Harry started questioning everything he'd accepted, and that's when the real cracks appeared. Stay tuned, because episode 2 drops a voice you've been waiting to hear. The shift happened fast. From curiosity to deep belief in hidden truths. Tom Bower masterminded it carefully. never crossing lines, but letting patterns speak. He didn't accuse outright. He presented. Episode 2 started simply, Tom introducing. Tonight, this comes from someone who experienced it firsthand. Then Trevor Engelson's voice, calm, weary from years of silence, while watching a polished story dominate. He began with background. The marriage, the drive, the changes as opportunities grew, the increasing secrecy. Then the specific night, the hotel, the hallway, the unexpected encounter with a man leaving the room Megan said was empty. An accent Trevor didn't know, confidence that fit perfectly. Megan's response. Not denial, but quick reframing, positioning it as connection building, as big picture thinking Trevor couldn't grasp. It wasn't about feelings, Trevor suggested. It was calculated advantage. She reportedly said this contact could transform everything. Silence followed, letting listeners piece it together. Trevor described the end coming soon after, trust shattered. Years later, seeing those Columbia ties resurface in royal life made old questions resurface too. The online reaction was massive, clips everywhere, breakdowns going viral, discussions exploding. And the one question overriding everything. If baseless, why not clear it with undeniable proof? Harry's private world, per this telling, was falling apart. Close contacts noticed strained, unpredictable moods, obsession with online chatter he claimed to ignore. But the timelines hit hardest. Sleuths aligned dates meticulously. The Columbia connections, the tour schedules, the announcement shifts, the controlled birth details, the quick postpartum moments, the missing traditional records. Alone, explainable, together, suggestive of planning. Harry reportedly started probing dates, specialists, the tight control around everything. Meghan sensed the shift, the lingering looks, the sharper questions. When he finally asked directly about verification, tension exploded. She turned it back, accusing doubt as disloyalty, as buying into outside attacks after all she'd faced. Harry pushed. This is about knowing the truth for myself. Her response? Forcing this ends everything we built. He walked out silent. Outside, more whispers emerged, former staff hinting at unusual title delays tied to paperwork issues, unprecedented closed meetings. Palace quiet only amplified it. Tom Bauer repeated calmly, those with nothing to hide welcome clarity. By episode 3's tease, the focus wasn't proof anymore. It was what might be concealed and how long it could stay that way. In their California home of luxury and image control, Harry faced a devastating realization. The rebellion, the family left behind, the titles abandoned, all potentially for a foundation now in doubt. Once uncertainty sets in, it spreads uncontrollably. The fairy tale wasn't just strained, it was unraveling. But here's the biggest twist yet. Sources close to the podcast claim the final episodes hold sealed records that could force an undeniable confrontation. What happens when those drop? Subscribe to Royal Empire now. You won't want to miss the fallout.